All right, what's up, gang? Welcome back. It is Friday. So Friday, we are now reintroducing squats. I am starting with the power squat. This is how we're going to ease my way back into my primary squats on Sunday. Now with that, we have the new launch of the Hydro Packs from Buff Chick Supplements. I got my Buff Chick here. I am actually sipping on that mango heat. So typically what I normally would have is I would bring in my banana for my potassium. Then I would also add a Gatorade with that for my electrolytes and stuff like that. So I'll have that as my 2-in-1. I have my sodium, my electrolytes, potassium, all those good things all in this one. 0 calories, and it tastes phenomenal. That is the biggest takeaway for me, is that it's not super salty at all, and it tastes really freaking good. Buff Chick never misses. They always hit, and it's always something about the quality that Buff Chick comes out with that I can get behind and support. This is something that is just dropped. You guys can bundle and save as well, but check this product out. Don't take my word for it. Please try it. You're gonna love it, I promise you. My top flavors are the pineapple and the raspberry. The mango heat, which is what I'm drinking now, is third on the list. It is still a really good flavor. It tastes really well. I like these over ice, but it's coming in third for me because it doesn't hit with the mango as hard as the pineapple hits and the raspberry hits. I think a little bit of that's because the heat definitely does a little bit to it. That kind of, mellows out that mango flavor just a little bit, but it still tastes good. So again, on a scale, I would give, the pineapple a 10, the raspberry a 9, 9.5, and the mango an 8.5. So that's just the scale for me, and it is that good to me. Don't take my word for it. Try it out. Use my discount code Pancakegawd to save you a little bit at checkout. When you bundle and save, you'll save even more. So again, you won't just do one pack. Try another one, because again, you have better chances of liking something if you get more than just one thing. But buy what you're going to genuinely like. I did think it was going to be the mango for me, which is the first one I tried. Certainly figured out after that it was definitely the pineapple and the raspberry that just did it for me. But I don't think you're gonna dislike any product you buy, though. That's just my personal opinion. Also, it's how I really feel about the product. So we do have the power squat today. We got like a 3 or 4 by 8. We're gonna do something really easy and light, and then from there we do have bench. We're gonna slowly introduce bench. I already wrote my program out, so I just gotta look at it, see what I have today. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do today. It's been weeks. I feel like I'm fine in terms of the minor pec strain I had the week of the meet. But we're just gonna ease into everything, just reintroduce everything slowly, and then hammer out these accessories. That's just kind of how it's gonna work today. Let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so I've just been going, honestly. I haven't really been counting my sets. I'm supposed to do like a 4 by 8, like I said. I just enjoy training, so I'm just going and going and going. This is a good starting point. Like, my heart rate's up. Volume is fine. I feel like these are a bit easier for me, which is why you see me load the weights a little bit more often. Then I start to focus on small nuanced things. Like, a lot of times whenever I do this power squat, I like to focus on explosion. So my primary focus is exploding out of the hole, just getting those fast twitch muscle fibers just activated and just exploding out of the hole. Like, the moment I hit the hole, my primary focus is driving my hips through and locking out, just finishing, just thrusting my hips as far as I can, as hard as I can forward. So that is the primary goal. I am feeling a lot in my groin here, but it's not as strenuous as a barbell back squat would be. So this is why I like to enforce something like this on a day like this. But again, this won't be a consistent workout day for me with these power squats. More so every deload we'll incorporate this. Or whenever I'm feeling super taxed, my elbows are beat, whatever is just fatiguing from the barbell back squat, we'll just jump onto these, because this is a great supplement for all of that. So again, this is just at my discretion and always on my deload week for my primary day. That's that. But we did the top set at 352 pounds for 4 reps. The weight was easy. However, I ended up feeling I got, not immediately when I like strained my pec or whatever I did to it, I can still feel the residual of like what that pain was. So it wasn't until like that full stretching motion. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is cutting the rest of my bench today. So I did the top set. I'm gonna go straight to accessories and hammer those out. Probably do some dumbbell work, maybe not work all the way down, maybe go a little bit higher than I normally would, so my elbows aren't gonna come all the way down and my pec isn't gonna stretch, get that full stretch. But I'll work not half reps, but way more than half, close to full, but not all the way. And that's what I'll do for my accessories for the time being, just to see what's gonna work and how I can continue to strengthen my pec as I start to, you know, revamp whatever this program is that I'm doing. I already, like I said, wrote it out, so I'll be editing and updating it as much as I possibly can to figure out what's going to work best for me right now, especially with bench, because bench was like my baby. Bench was growing. Bench had the most progress out of all my lists, and it was really, really cool to see it grow the way it did. So I'm going to do everything I can to try to maintain that. I don't want to lose any of that. So let's get the accessories. I gotta lift it up again one more time. All right, what's up? What's up? Today is Tuesday, but it is, damn, where's my phone at? Over there. It's 5:43 in the evening. Yes, we are training quite later. We are training later than we have in a very long time. Reason being for today is that I was getting a lot of work done earlier in the day, so that was definitely something that I was more so focused on. Whereas, like, again, there's no meet lined up right now, and when I'm like in meet prep, I do things by the book. I want to be at the gym at this time, I want to do this by this time, and I want to be out by this time, and I want to do this. So I have a more strict schedule, not as flexible, so to speak. So now I have a way more flexible schedule, and I don't really care what time I go to the gym anymore, as long as I get to the gym, and that's kind of where we're at now. But if you're not checking it out, your boy's rocking a Dad Gang hat, you know what I'm saying? So, like, amazing news, Becca and I are expecting a little girl, you feel me? Yeah, we're expecting a daughter in November. I was just talking to my boy Jackson. I haven't seen him in a long time, you know, because we're talking about things, and obviously my daughter came up, so that's so crazy to say, like my daughter. It's still hitting me in so many different ways, and I can get really emotional thinking about it, because I've always wanted a kid or two, honestly. I'm 33 now. I think I've said this plenty of times, and I have 6 other siblings, and I've been able to witness all my siblings, older and younger, except my oldest brother. He's the only one who have had kids, or multiple kids. I've seen my youngest sister and my youngest brother. They both have kids, so it's just like, it's not something I've ever been like envious of or anything like that of that nature, but it's something that I knew that for me in my life and what I wanted to accomplish and do, that was something I definitely had to put on hold for a period of time. And I think that's just a mature way of thinking. There's never a right time to do anything. However, I think it's just kind of been, me holding off on going through with the process of it, because there's a lot of like thoughts and things that come up and fears and whatnot. But this year, again, was one of those years where I've talked about this a lot, how I wanted to take this year off and not compete. A big part of that was planning on expanding the family. So a big part of that was that. So I wanted to focus on that too. So that made sense to not do anything this year and just kind of map that out a little bit and just work and grind and do all these things. However, the meet came up, and the more I look at it, the more I step back and look at the timeline of events that are happening this year, and that have happened, that are happening, and that's supposed to happen. When I step back and look at the timeline of events, I was like, wow, this meet actually landed in the perfect spot. The meet was in July. My daughter is due in November, and then Nationals, I believe, is expected to be around April. So this was just a great opportunity to do everything I wanted to do this year. It's funny how that works. I also said I wanted to travel a lot, and go ahead and get that out the way. So this year was supposed to be me traveling and not competing. But obviously all those things kind of changed, and it kind of worked out for the best. I ended up traveling a decent amount. I would have liked to travel a little bit more, but the more I started traveling, the more I wanted to be home, which was kind of funny too. So there was a lot of these things that were going on. But long story short, I'm really excited for this adventure. If you hadn't noticed, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. It wasn't something I've been hiding. Posted it all over my social media platforms, and I've also talked a lot about it and joked around about being a dad and dash strength and things like that. And also, if you've watched the SPD Raleigh meet, you would have heard them say that frequently. But yeah, man, this is an exciting time. I am transitioning into fatherhood, and I'm looking forward to becoming the father I know I can be. But also, I know that's going to come with its own challenges, and I don't know what those things are quite yet. I only know what I know and what people have told me, but I don't know everything. One thing I do know is that everybody's process is different, and I'm looking forward to going through my own process. I'm not necessarily worried about what people have to say about my process and what Becca and I are going through. This is our partnership, this is our family, and that's how things have always been. We're strong together, and everything's worked out the way it has because we keep our household pretty private, and our private matters private, and we keep the world outside of that. And I think that's very healthy and important, because at the end of the day, it is just me and her. And then when our daughter's here, it's going to be me, her, and our daughter. And the reason I keep saying daughter and not saying her name is because, out of respect for Becca, she doesn't want to announce that just yet. And I'm pretty sure you all will find out when she's here. So enough of that. I can go on and on and on, and I may elaborate a little bit more, talk a little bit more. I just have these random conversations with you all about my thoughts, almost as if I'm journaling. And I may just end up doing that with you guys. If you have any questions or want to comment anything, hit the comment section below. I'll chit chat with you guys in the comment section. But yeah, we got bench today. I think we're going to work up to maybe a triple, just see how that goes. Last week didn't go so well. Last week wasn't bad. I just didn't want to stress anything. Things felt a little off, so I did what I could. But yeah, we'll see how everything works out today. Okay, right now everything feels okay. I'm gonna turn on my music and just get to work. like the feeling is still present. It's not as severe as it was the week of the meet. It's only when I do that full stretch of the pack when the bar is laying on my chest is when I feel it giving that pressing motion from that stretch position to that pressing motion is when I feel it the most. So that's something I'm gonna have to just work on strengthening, but also like not overdo it. So being at this for the last 2 weeks, or since last week, being at the 352 to 363 range is something that's manageable and doable. Getting any heavier than that, I think I'm a little bit still more concerned about, so I haven't really pushed it much. So we'll do this work. So we'll do working sets at 330 for a couple of sets of 4 and just kind of see how that goes, and just kind of be a little bit more focused on staying in the best position possible, and then we'll just slowly build up. But just rehab is the only thing I can really do outside of benching, obviously. So we'll see how that goes. I fucking knew it. I got him one too high. I knew it. Nah, it's right here.
Okay. I was looking at the.
What I really liked about Talk to Me though is that they really focused on a lot of like mental health stuff. Like for instance, you were like, why would you do that? There was this girl going through a lot. She feels very alone, and then she kind of gets in with the cool crowd because she did it and things like that. So like it kind of feeds that ego a little bit, and she gets a high off of it. And I was like, wow, this is really bad for someone who's in this situation. All right, cool. So we're basically done with bench. By basically, I mean we're done with bench. On my first, or I think my second set, I can't remember, but on one of my sets, I realized the rack height was one too high because I kept clipping it. So I was like, something's off, and that's exactly what it was. It was just off by one. But successful bench day. Got through without feeling any immense pain. So that's a good thing, and just kind of doing everything I can to kind of alleviate the stress and whatnot, but really all I can do. Come in here twice a week, bench like I've been doing, but not push it too much, and then we'll just kind of go from there. Luckily, I have a lot of time off, so this isn't a big concern of mine, but we definitely got to get back to getting over that 460 plus bench. I'm looking forward to it, so I'm really excited to kind of build it back up so we can get back to that point and just kind of get closer to that 500 mark. So if we're in a meet, we can hit that 460 to 480 range on the day, and it's a wrap from there. You feel me? All right.